Hello everyone, and welcome to the Wonder of Star Wars The Old Republic, episode number 44. That is lucky number 44, and I have not been able to play for a while, so I'm very excited to jump back into Javiik and his story. On this specific episode, we will actually be going a Datacron hunting to find the last two Datacrons that we did not find yet on Tatooine. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, this is part of an ongoing series, so if you want to start at episode 0, I actually hide many of the episodes on my channel, but you can find them in the playlist in the description of this video. For those of you who have been watching this series and waiting for the most recent episode, hello everyone, I'm back! I'm on a brand new computer too! I made a little video about all the computer upgrades we did, and so far things have been great, no more crashes. And Javiik was actually the first place I realized we were having some computer issues, period, because I went to go record and whole computer was very, very cranky. So if there's a little weirdness, for example, the sounds aren't quite as loud or too loud, please let me know so I can adjust it for the next one, because we're basically starting from scratch. I had to go turn on some nice things like don't show my nameplate over my head and don't play the music as loud as humanly possible, you know, the usual. So the first Datacron that we're gonna find, I believe on the map, it was somewhere up here. So for my Datacron hunts, I try not to spoil exactly where it would be for myself so I can do a little bit of hunting and finding on my own, but I do like to look up the general area where they are just to save myself years of trying to look through an entire planet. That's not really my thing. I love stumbling across them, but if I didn't find them on my own, I don't mind getting a hint to get started. So I'm actually using a very old site called SWTOR-spy.com. Although it's really old, I've still found it's my favorite one to use. They've got a ton of screenshots for each step. I usually just look at the first 1 or 2 steps and just to find the general vicinity. Let's see, maybe over here more? And if you're looking for some more up-to-date video guides, I believe Kid Lee on YouTube has most, if not all, of the Datacrons. And the SWTOR Spy, the only things that's actually out of date is what the Datacrons are called. They are actually called something else in the newer updates. They're called Mastery Datacrons, or they're called by color, so just match up the colors is usually what I do. So for example, I'm looking for the blue and the purple Datacrons, and that's the only thing that's really important to me anymore, because there's certain stats that used to exist like aim and cunning that just don't exist anymore. So since I last got to have a Javiik video, there has been a ton of news. I know for a couple of the episodes previous I was kind of saying, not a lot going on, we're just kind of waiting. Well, all that waiting has absolutely paid off. Oh, I think we're in the right area now. If I was gonna hide the Datacron, I'd hide it up here because I had a hard time even finding the entrance. Oh, so much news, and I'm so excited to be sharing it with you all. I'm not going to do a ton in this video because I obviously probably want to make a video just about that. So if you may have seen the video where I'm talking about what to expect in... Oh, these guys are kicking my butt. Where is Val? Ah, my computer upgrade killed Val, and I'm probably going to die. Sorry, this is shameful. Farewell, cruel world. Datacron hunting, deadly sport. Oh, that's why I wandered into a heroic area without my companion. Good job, good job. So, long story short, we're going to be likely getting expansion. Well, we are getting expansion. They haven't announced the name or the date, just the topic. It will be centered around dark versus light. Most players are assuming and guessing that it will come out in 2019 sometime. When exactly is, well, BioWare's guess, I guess. What we do know is, oh dear, fly text. I forgot we even had Andronicos Revel. Let's turn that fly text off. It could drive me a little crazy otherwise. Thanks, I'm okay. I'm okay, Andronicos. Let's go. You know what, let's get out the monster for nostalgia's sake. Call me if you need me. So what we do know is that we're getting a brand new storyline coming in December 2018. We didn't have the date when I was making the guesses about what planet it might be on. Didn't have a date when I last made the last episode of Wonder of SWTOR. Hey Val, good buddy, I missed you. Missed you threatening to eat me all the time. Now what's funny is I think I I vaguely remember actually jumping down here. I wonder if it's in this area here. I don't see a cave or a pathway or anything like that right here. So I must have been very close to it, I would think. Maybe it's on the other side. So now we know the next story update, and probably the next update just since this came out. Last update we had since I talked was 5.9.3, and that basically just brought some class changes, and the big update for that was the new Hutball map set on Vanden, the planet of Vanden. Ooh, big scary guy. Sand people savage. Oh! I was so close to it, I didn't even know! Just one cliffside away, and if I decided to jump wildly off the other cliff, I would have seen it. Okay, so now the trick is getting it without dying. Okay, we'll just do a little scoochy booty right here. No. Oh. Okay. We gotta land on that thing, or we're not gonna be able to jump onto it. Okay, we're cool. Cool. Very cool. I like this as a hidden location. That's neat. That's a nice place to be. I remember admiring the view when I jumped down the other cliff, too. You have located a Datacron, an ancient technology once used by the Eternal Empire? No, the Ancient Empire. This Datacron has a single use: to make Javiik an all-powerful being who will take over the galaxy with his cat-like features. That was one of them? You saw him arcing his back like a little Halloween kitty? So cool, here we go, back to the galactic histories. The fallen Jedi Freeden Nad learned well at the feet of Nagasadao, an ancient Sith Lord. After killing his mentor, Nad traveled to distant Onderon and established himself in the capital. I never knew if it was Iziz or Izes, probably Izes, as a tyrant, twisting the city's culture to a Sith ideal. Nad would often banish criminals beyond Izez's walls, intending for them to die in Onderon's dangerous jungles. However, many of these criminals survived and began taming the jungle beasts as mounts. These beast riders formed a guerrilla force that eventually went to war against Izez. Nad fought them fiercely, but the jungle had honed the beast riders into formidable enemies. The civil war continued even after Nad's eventual death. Nad was entombed below the city of Izez, where his influence on Izez's rulers would be felt for centuries. And that was on the planet of Onderon, and funnily enough, Onderon was one of the planets that players were guessing could... Oh, can I get down here without dying? Do I even want to be down here? I don't think this is anywhere where... No, this is nowhere close where I want to be, so let's use our dear beloved quick travel. See, I don't even have 2 bars right now. I was trying to see what I could find and set up before this, but you just never know what you're missing till you're actually playing. Alrighty, quick bar. We don't have any more quick bars. We are free to play, and therefore our quick travel must be used from the quick travel menu. Oh, I think it's over here. Let me check my map on SWTOR Spy. Aha, yes, it is near, kind of opposite side of Mosanic. Probably can get there from Mosanic. Probably could get there from the other one too. That's okay. Actually, I think this one's closer. I'm not the strongest with maps. I will happily admit that. Here we'll have a nice view while we QT. So, speaking of that update, there was a developer stream very recently where they announced a lot of the things that would be going on in the 5.10 update. Some players were like, dev stream, they're probably not gonna really announce anything, but this was a very important dev stream for them, a developer live stream where they could talk to the fans like directly. They are on camera and then people could ask questions in chat and everyone's watching live. There was, I think, 1,800 people watching at any given time. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty big viewing number for them. And this was actually planned to be revealed at the New York Comic-Con 2018. So they were actually planning to do a live event where players could just come to usually a bar or a restaurant and see them announce everything live, which is really cool. I like that they do it this way because more people can attend. Obviously, you can only go to that if you live in New York and you're available and stuff, but more players can see the developer stream. But this way is probably a lot less fun compared to actually being there live. There's definitely something very fun about actually getting to be there with other SWTOR lovers and people who enjoy the game. I'm hoping we're going in the right direction. I think so. Maybe. Oh yeah, but we've got a ways to go. Cool. So I'll just keep telling stories while we travel. So what did they announce? We already had some clues about what planet it was going to be. The clues that they gave were it was in the Tales of the Jedi series. It was a beloved planet and it suffered a cataclysm. To me, that only meant one planet, Ossus. So Ossus is a planet in Old Republic lore. It was very important, especially to ancient Sith. I'm having a brain fart because we just talked about Friedenad. Exar Kun, I believe, if I'm not befuddled, was a very important player in its history, and it was also the location of the ancient Jedi archive. So I'm pretty familiar with Ossus because my first guild in Star Wars The Old Republic was actually called the Order of Ossus, and though I had very little knowledge of Old Republic lore beyond what was in the Knights of the Old Republic games, I knew that I loved it, and I tried to understand everything I could about my guild because I didn't want to be like that noob that didn't know anything about our guild name and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd never heard of it until I joined the guild. I think I told this story before, but I was much younger when I first was looking for my first guild. I hadn't had a lot of experience with playing with people online. I was still, I guess, socially awkward would probably be a good word. Socially insecure, maybe. And I was very worried about how people would treat me, especially because I was a girl gamer. You see a lot of crap that people give women on the internet sometimes. I will say that as more women get into games, it's probably a lot lower. In certain types of games, especially competitive games, it's probably just as bad, but there is plenty of normal people on the internet that are cool to hang out with, is my assessment these days. But at the time I was very worried about it, and I made a post, I believe it was on the official SWTOR forums. They were up, I want to say, between 2 to 4 years before the game ever came out, and I posted something along the lines of, I'm looking for a guild who's cool to hang out with, maybe a little bit into RP, is cool with having a lady in their ranks. Something along those lines. I just didn't want to get, pardon my French, I didn't want to get shit on just for joining and being female, because I did want to be able to get into voice. I did want to be able to talk and not have to like use a voice modulator or anything weird like that. And someone was nice and answered. Apparently they didn't think I was too socially awkward, and they said, yeah, we're cool with that. You seem to have similar... Is this a safe place? Every time I see Imperials, I get worried that I'm going to get annihilated because I'm so used to playing Republic side. Oh! Apparently we missed this area because there is some quests here for us, and they're not even repeatable heroics. So I'll stop telling my socially awkward story and talk to Officer Kreskin.
I don't advise travelling openly here. I'm certain you're on business far above my clearance, my lord, but I wouldn't want you to risk yourself unnecessarily. The local exchange here are backed by someone with advanced stealth technology. They're using assassin droids to ambush our men.
They send a few droids out, and you're willing to write off this whole place?
No, my lord. If we could see the droids, my men would make short work of them. This technology renders the droids invisible to the eye and to our instruments. You could be next to one and not know until it was too late. My science officer developed a way to counteract the technology, if we could just get close enough to use it.
Sounds like you need some help.
Your involvement would guarantee a favorable outcome. The droids have proven nearly impossible to fight while the stealth generator is working. To destroy them, you will have to disable their stealth generators with this visual descrambler. Any hidden droid should appear. Once they're dealt with, inspect the chassis to find the stealth transmitters. Our scientists will need to examine them.
And then we will talk to Captain Reskin! Oh, I've seen so many screenshots of you. I never thought I'd see you live. Can I have your autograph? You're famous. You're famous all over the internet, Captain Reskin. So let's see what you have to actually say.
Captain Charles Ruskin reporting, my lord.
Oh,
The soldiers here, they've
Ruskin!
been on Tatooine too long,
Oh.
going native. Sloth, larceny, disrespect for the Imperial Code.
Sounds like they could use a reminder of who they serve.
It's spice that does it to them. The spice the Exchange has been dealing our soldiers, despite my best efforts. I've sent teams after the dealers before, but they can't get past the Exchange's marksmen. I need that spice destroyed.
It would be my pleasure.
I just want to see that spice go up in flames. If you could drive out the smugglers and kill their boss to teach them a lesson, all the better. But the spice must go.
The spice must flow. I wonder if that was a reference to Dune. Probably not. Maybe. Maybe. So, back to my socially awkward story. Oh, there's two more over here. I felt like when I played the game originally for the very first time, it was on Republic side, so a little different, but I felt like I came across every quest fairly naturally, and if I didn't, I would get there through the bonus missions, but like this whole area, I don't think there was ever a reason for me to ever go here, was there?
Any chance I could interest you in a little punitive bloodshed, my lord? There's a team of Republic archaeologists excavating the same ruins I'm here to research. My team attempted to run them off, but it's rather embarrassing. We were the ones sent packing.
You're hoping I'll teach these trespassers a lesson.
We need to make a show of force. Make it clear that to steal from the Empire is to sign your own death warrant. Spill enough blood, and the Republic will be hard-pressed to find anyone crazy enough to replace them.
You understand what you're asking. It will get messy.
I won't mind digging through their bones if it means working in peace.
Doing all the quests. Doing all the quests, including this heroic, which is probably the one related to the one I just died to.
Not often we see Sith in the middle of nowhere. Not a critique, mind you. Captain Demetrius, the Exchange has been interrupting our shipments lately. We tell them to stop on pain of death, but they don't listen. I need somebody to check their hearing, if you know what I mean.
What do you want me to do?
I got a bead on the Exchange's shipping warehouse, the locus of their whole operation. I want to scrape them off the map. But it's guarded by anti-air guns and comm jammers that make a large-scale attack impossible to coordinate.
That's a pretty sophisticated operation the Exchange is running.
Oh, no kidding. Maybe this little run will give us some idea who's backing them. I need you to take out the gunners. Take out the jammers and then call in the reinforcements.
I think I can do that much.
I knew when I saw you, you were the fix I needed. The warehouse is close by. Can't miss it. Everything else is sand.
I just noticed that it says Tatooine 2 up here as how many people are on Tatooine. I need to figure out why. Ah, it's because I'm on Tatooine instance 3 of 4. I'm me and one other person that isn't Kemval are apparently the only ones on this instance. It looks like it's trying to close it and start the other one instead. Oh, I need to actually look where my Datacrons even further. Should we go do the quests or go find that Datacron? I vote go find that Datacron and we can come do a whole other round of quests instead of leaving Tatooine. Unless, I was gonna say unless you guys really want to leave Tatooine, but no. We're trying to do all the quests. All of them! So back to my socially awkward story, now that we've picked up 4 more quests. My first guild was named Order of Ossus, as I mentioned. Once we got over the awkward part, I got to meet some really, really nice people. Probably, I would say the first MMO online gaming guild that I had. I'd talked to people on the internet before. I had some games that I really enjoyed when I was younger, when I was like a preteen, but it's not quite the same as online gaming. Online gaming, you have so much more of a physical presence, I guess you could say, versus just like a forums or a board. You have an actual character. Aha! Here is our Datacron. Ta-da! So now we gotta figure out how to find it. It's, whoa, womp rats. So I know that it's somewhere nearby, and I believe it's more towards the south is how one would find the Datacron, and you can't like jump your way up these little cliffs. Impossible. So let's start peeking around. Hey, do you see this big rock over here? It's kind of like a, let's see if we can get a little closer without falling off. Oh hey, wonder if it's down there. It's a dark spot in the middle of the screen here. That's actually part of a quest that you can do. It's repeatable. You can do it at level 70, 50-ish actually. And it's called the GSI missions, and you have a pair of secret binoculars, and it's a weekly repeatable one. I've actually done it quite a few times because the GSI reputation track is one of the very few that I don't have maxed out, just because the quests they feel so much more time consuming than many of the other reputation or heroic quests do. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. Guess we'll find out. I guess we'll get shot by sand people, and I forgot to hit my numlock. Val will save me. He's a cool bro. So I joined this guild, got to meet some really cool people. We were so psyched about the game. I want to say it was at least 2 years before the game even came out. That's how interested in this era and this type of game the people in that guild were. I was also very interested in Knights of the Old Republic and everything to do with it 2 years before the game came out, maybe even longer, because that was when I'd finally worked up the nerve to start looking for other people to talk to it about. And I'm super glad I did. Made some really good friends at the time. Eventually, though, it was really funny. The game came out. The wonder of SWTOR was truly real, 100%, and I was just probably the happiest gaming I've ever done in my life. Just exploring everything for the first time, especially with other people. I remember going terrorist Datacron hunting for like hours, because there wasn't a lot of guides yet, and we didn't have any maps unlocked, and we didn't have any waypoints unlocked, and we would just be goofing off, standing on pipes and stuff like that, and so fun. Now, when I play, I take my time, as you can see I'm doing here. I mean, I don't talk to myself normally when I'm playing, but I don't try to rush to endgame. No real reason for it. I really like the act of actually playing, I guess you could say. And so I wasn't really worried about rushing then either. And my guildmates, most of them, same kind of deal, just really enjoyed playing. Level 45. Oh, that was cool. We were episode 44 and we were level 44, but now it's broken. Lame. My guild leaders were a different story. They wanted to do endgame content. They were super interested in being level 50, the max of the time, and they together worked really tirelessly to be some of the first people probably who reached level 50. And then they got bored in like less than a month because they didn't know what to do. None of us in their guild were really ready for endgame raiding. There wasn't a ton of endgame content to start with. There was, if I remember right, no dailies you could at least grind out to get gear. There was one operation. There might have not even been a full operation if I remember right at the very launch of the game. I feel like I've gone a little too far. I'm gonna check my map so I don't just go wandering around in circles for hours. Okie dokie. I got to the location where I saw the Datacron. Now where would I... Nope, I'm not even close. Let's back it up a bit. Oh, lame. Sorry guys. Did not find the secret cave or whatever it is you need to do. So if you see a ton of sand people, turn back, turn back. And so our guild was like, well, what are we gonna do? Our guild leaders kind of just left. I don't know what they went to go do afterwards. The disappointment they must have felt, I can only imagine, was fairly high to have been dreaming about this game for definitely more than 2 years, because they'd already established a guild by the time I got around. And so my other guildmates were a little more proactive than I was, and they said, well, let's go look for another guild and try and join together. So that's how I found my current guild. I kind of got... I don't even think I made an original application because our guild is a little more community and social focused. We asked for an application rather than just invite anybody who is online in the game. And yeah, our guild got merged in, and it was like a huge thing at the time because they most everyone else had to make an application, but I think anyone in our guild was just kind of accepted wholesale, which definitely made things easier for everyone who wanted to join, because in general I would say the values at both guilds had very similar ways of thinking and wanting to do things, being inclusive, doing a little bit of everything, generally not being a jerk to people. So it turned out well in the end, at least for me. I was very happy about it. And so that is the story of the Order of Ossus. It rest in peace, Ossus. May you live on in my heart. And now we can talk about Ossus, the planet. Camval's gonna die, but I don't care. He sacrificed himself for me. I think it's more somewhere over here, so I was on the right track when I was looking over this. Oh, do you see this over here? There's like an outcropping. Maybe I gotta jump down there. So Ossus, as I mentioned, was a planet that was a high part of Old Republic lore before this game even came out. Pardon me, the train's about to come by and be really noisy. Train, don't mess me up. I'll board the Datacron train. Ah! Damn. Was I low health or did I just fall too far? Well, oh, back to where we were. At least we know where we have to go this time. I'm sorry, that was stupid. Back to Ossus gives us more time to talk about the lore of the new planet. So how is this planet being approached? Oh, Codex entry, Womp Rat Fever. No, this is way more important lore. Womp Rat Fever is the common name for a bacterial infection carried by the Womp Rats of Tatooine. Typically spread through the bite of an infected rat, Womp Rat Fever is rare but extremely dangerous. Early symptoms include decreased natural health regeneration due to hemorrhaging from wounds, combined with coughing fits, muscle aches, and chills. If untreated, Womp Rat Fever is invariably fatal. Stim vendors on Tatooine carry injectors containing an antibacterial formula that can cure Womp Rat Fever with 100% effectiveness. Anyone bitten by a Womp Rat and exhibiting signs of the fever should procure the cure as soon as possible. The formula also acts as a short-term vaccination, providing immunity to Womp Rat Fever for a brief period. So I wonder, for those of you who have played the Rakghoul event, if this was like an early test of how that the Rakghoul virus could be spread. Okay, let's try this again. I think it's just past these tents right here. So Ossus is going to be approached in a quite interesting way, I think. So in the story so far, very minor spoilers, the Republic and the Empire were working together for a short time, but due to the war with a third faction, the Eternal Empire... Okay, let's not immediately try to jump directly to it this time. Okay. Lore, hold on. Okay. This time I'm not gonna die, right? No promises, right? Okay, let's see if I can land on that little sign there. Oh, okay. That was Camval congratulating me, by the way, in Camvalese. Okay, so I know there's a bunch of sand people here. I was just going to run through, but I feel like that's a bad life choice because they're all going to run after me and I'm going to be stuck at the ledge at the end and they're all going to kill me. That would be disappointing after already dying once. In the story, so they've had a third faction kind of mess things up, mess up the dynamic of the Republic versus the Empire, and they've been either forced to work together at the very least, be forced to not be fighting each other and wasting resources in that second war. Now, though, that third faction is no longer a threat, and the Republic and the Empire are sort of going back to each other's throats. We may be in a sort of a quiet Cold War. There's no truce signed right now, I don't think, but no one wants to go straight into full war quite yet. They're waiting for the first shot to be fired, basically. So I'm sure lots of subtle acts of war are already being committed. Ooh, that was a cool shot. Oh, we need money. No, we don't need money because we are playing on a free-to-play account and our credit limit is 200,000 credits, so any extra we earn is just kind of going into a bank account that we can't access till we subscribe, which we will, I think, eventually, if we ever get past the class story and Revan and McKeb. Because we got those for free in a promo. Sweet! Now, going back to Ossus. There are going to be some new characters introduced with this story, and they seem quite cool. We don't know a ton about them yet. So the first thing we need to know is what are happening to the Sith and the Jedi during this time. We really did not have a ton of updates about them. We knew a little bit about what was going on with the Sith leadership, but things kind of went possibly a little capsized, I guess you could say, depending on choices you made for them. And the Republic, really? I mean, we knew what was going on with the Republic, but we knew there was the Jedi were kind of scattered, I guess you could say. Some of the main key characters as Jedi were not available or not directly a part of the war. And that, the idea was to give a major focus on the player character to really give them a sense of being in charge and the most powerful person in the galaxy. And some players like that, some players didn't. Either way, we're going back to having actual strong Jedi and strong Sith again in the storyline, which is cool. So we know now from this live stream that the developers did that the Jedi, some of them have created a sanctuary on this planet of Ossus, which used to have the Jedi archives. So definitely a place that the Jedi are familiar with and once had a home in. And those Jedi are trying to create a home not only for themselves, but hoping that others will join them in the future. Now, the planet of Ossus, as I mentioned, one of the hints was that there was a cataclysm, and a cataclysm indeed ravaged the entire planet, I guess you could say, in the war with Exarchon. And during that war, the planet was made mostly, I guess you could say mostly uninhabitable. So the Jedi are not only trying to find sanctuary, they're trying to rebuild the actual planet. Reclamation services, for those of you who are familiar with Terrace, very similar ways, but Terrace was just bombarded, so it was just, there's not really any buildings. There was plant life, stuff like that. You could grow stuff, there just weren't any farms yet. Ossus, however, it seems like a barren, toxic wasteland and not a good place for anyone to be living. So if the Jedi picked there, they must have had some good reasons for picking there. I'm guessing it was unknown to the third faction, the Internal Empire, that was causing so much havoc, and maybe unknown to the Sith. Well, I mean, in recent years at least, the Sith definitely knew all about it, as a cataclysm did. And so we know one of the new characters is going to be a new Jedi, a Lady Jedi. She has a really cool tattoo, and it's the ancient symbol of the light side. So that's really nice lore touch there for me. She seems to have some really cool armor and a generally really cool look. So I'm looking forward to actually meeting her character. One thing I did think that was kind of odd is that both new main characters are female. It's like kind of strange and surprising, I guess. We got Asina, Darth Asina was a female leader of the Sith in the recent expansions. We had Suresh was the female leader of the Empire. I guess Valkorian was male. He was a leader of an empire. I don't know, Arkin and the other younger siblings, I kind of consider them thugs, so they don't count. So it's kind of like interesting that the dial swung so much towards female characters in this coming expansion. I like a good mix of characters, if that makes sense. Lots of different types of people. Oh! Datacron! Purple power! Yes, Javiik. Give it to me. Birthday present. So what codex did we get? The Nevuta extinction. Some years before the old Sith Wars, the Nevuta, a species of insectoid aliens from the Balmorra system, found themselves facing an army of disciplined warriors in distinctive armor. The warriors were Mandalorian crusaders, testing themselves against the galaxy's deadliest species. However, the Nevuta were a challenge even for the Mandalorians. Possessing superior numbers and utterly disdainful of death, the Nevuta fought a 4-year campaign under the cunning warlord Ith Chiraka, but finally the Mandalorian hunted the Nevuta to extinction. The conflict had a profound effect on the Mandalorian culture. The Mandalorians began to see war itself as an end, not just a means of conquest. Through war, Mandalorian society found its highest expression. When Mandalore the Indomitable eventually rose to power, he led a people who demanded nothing less than the greatest challenges the galaxy could offer. And we can enjoy our view. Definitely. We died proudly to get up here. No boss inside, but we definitely did. Oh, once again, trick is, can I get down without dying? I don't think I have a quick travel left. Okay, just to scooch to the left. And we made it. So we can go pick up some of those quests. We have 4 different ones over there now. So what's going on with Ossus? We've got that new Jedi character who I imagine is going to be one of the leaders of the Jedi faction there. I don't know if they have a name. I hope they're called the Order of Ossus. Yeah, that would be cool. Go for it. The guild doesn't exist anymore. Bioware, it's all yours. Take it. The other character, however, that we know is going to be coming back is very, very cool. They had teased that there was going to be some returning characters, and I was personally like, I had my little wish list of ones I was hoping for. Malgus, not necessarily for myself, he's awesome, but I know a lot of people would be excited to see him. One character I was really hoping would make an appearance was Jedi Master Nostral. So this is not a character that's ever been in game, but if you remember the galactic timelines, he is the one who narrated them. He is the keeper of the Jedi archives, and oh wow, everybody loves those galactic timelines so much. Definitely I do. Definitely been inspired and dreamed about them because they were one of the few pieces of content we had available before the game, and even now they're just so good to listen to. If you haven't heard of them before, search on the YouTubes for SWTOR Galactic Timelines, and there's 1 through 12, and that's it. They just stop suddenly. So he's going to be a character in game. I'm sure a lot of players are hoping that means there's some type of continuation. Maybe you can go talk to him actually in game, and he can tell you about the galactic timeline. Maybe, I don't know, current timelines, old news. Like personally, if I had to pick, I would really love to hear him narrate about current events, and separately to go read all these codex entries I've been reading, because I am a poor substitute for the voice actor who really brings Jedi Master Nostral to life. He's a very unique voice actor, and he pins down the essence of a serious, sober, knowledgeable, wise, ancient Jedi Master who is trying to preserve knowledge. So just good job, voice actor. I need to look up your name so I can say thank you for inspiring thousands of people with your voice acting. We're close by. Oh, we got a new codex entry about these, oh, not about these guys. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go, from this guy. This is yeah, I can go pet him. Hi, buddy. Oh my god. Hi. What's up? You're a reek. So, oh, I lost my codex entry. Darn it. We'll find it. Okay. Reeks are horned, thick-skinned herbivores. They originally hail from the planet Elysia, but can be found all over the galaxy, particularly on Iridonia, SWTOR, and Tatooine. They are highly sought after as pack animals, but are also commonly used as mounts. Curiously, Reeks' temperaments are largely dictated by their diets. While they normally subsist on plants, Reeks will eat meat if it is offered to them. However, a carnivorous diet turns their skin dark red and makes them extremely hostile. This phenomenon inspired the phrase "mad as a red reek," and has led to the practice of using battle-maddened reeks in gladiatorial arenas. You know whoever wrote that had in mind the fact that you'd eventually be able to have creature mounts. For sure. Absolutely. Where are we going? Okay, we got a quest to the north here. The second main character, obviously Master Nostrial, is awesome. He is apparently also the Order on Ossus, the Jedi group. There is his brainchild, and he's I don't know if he's the current leader or if he's like a pseudo leader. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't want to fight, man. Oh, maybe I do have to fight. Defeat Republic archaeologists. Is that the quest we're on? Oh yeah, so I do want to fight, man. Hey guys. Hey, what's up? Are you the ones that's being a pain for my Republic buddies here? Well, you're not gonna be a pain for much longer, that's for sure. Sweet, sweet credits going to my escrow account. The main character on the Sith side is going to be a returning character, actually, which I found very interesting and surprising. I've heard some rumors that there will also be some other returning smaller characters. Now, if you remember, a long, long time ago in a Javiik far away, we did some quests on Korriban. There was a quest that we did, I don't know what episode it's in, sorry, where we were not near the big temple on Korriban, but we were in the wilds, and there was a quest involving Tukata, and that quest, I think, really inspired us to think about Sith alchemy and Javiik's backstory for those of you who were following the roleplay side of things when I still had time to do both. There was a quest, and he was a master. He was quite large. He wanted Tukata brains. He wanted us to find some, and he wanted to help him give credit to his theories about what he could do with them with Sith alchemy, and it was a very interesting quest for me at the time, especially with Javiik's story. And there was also an apprentice. Her name was Melora, Apprentice Melora, and she was really annoyed by all his harebrained theories. She did not have any belief that he was real, and he was really getting on her nerves. So I believe she offered to pay us if we destroyed the Tukata remains that we were gathering and not give it to him and make his theories fail, basically. We said no! Screw you! Now the best part is when you say no, you can also tell that Darth about what she said, and she will give her a little bit of that. So many characters may remember her as, oh dear, I remember what I did to her back on Korriban. I hope she doesn't remember, because she will be returning as the main new Sith character in the new story update on Ossus. She has she has returned as no longer the apprentice. She is now Darth Melora. And if I remember right, she has a huge focus on Sith alchemy and specifically bioalchemy. So Sith alchemy related to living creatures. For example, Tukata. She better have some super awesome Tukata stuff. Or maybe not, because she didn't believe in his theory. Maybe she has something else awesome. But I think it's really cool that they dug back to the roots of the game and said, who's someone who still exists? Because every expansion we get brand new characters. A lot of them didn't exist before. And a lot of the older characters just, I mean, Melora, I would never cry if she was never brought up again, obviously, but it's cool that they decided to develop her character, so I'm looking forward to that too. There's also going to be a new, on the Imperial side, as a secondary new character. Her name is Henri, I believe, and she is a yellow Twi'lek, and I believe she's an Imperial commando? I don't remember a lot about her, but they didn't tell us too much either. They just showed her in a picture with the black and red Sith Trooper armor and with some other Sith Troopers. So what do we know about Ossus, the actual place in game? It's actually available to be seen on the public test server. So the public test server is just kill more Ossus. Oh, we're just on the bonus. I'm not gonna worry about the bonus. Or I can just murder six more people. Yeah, let's do some murdering. It seems like a good choice. We haven't had a chance to murder people in a while, so you know. On the public test server, it's where subscribers only, can download a test version of the game. This test version is not connected to our game here. So for example, on my subscriber account, my main account, if I do something on the test server, it doesn't affect the main server, but you can copy your character over from the main server to the test server. So I can actually play my my main trooper on there, or my often my Imperial tank too, depends if I'm doing something with someone else. And quite a few players have actually gone and checked it out. I'm hoping to go... Ooh, what did I get? Sinister. Achievement complete vicious. What did I do? You received this title by reaching Dark Side Tier 2! Yay! Oh, I have it turned off. I wonder if it even actually does anything for Sith. Ah, Cathar doesn't have any changes. Oh, this is interesting. So, it's hard to see, but in my equipment window, when I show Dark Side Corruption, my face gets paler and I have orange eyes. When I turn it off, I go back to normal. Sadly, it's not showing up on my character. I don't know if that's a bug or a free-to-play restriction. Have to go look around. Now we've efficiently murdered 6 more people. Hey, there's the balloon. That's not the balloon, though. Don't worry. Is there another quest here? Oh my gosh. Where is this one? I see it on the map, but I don't see it. It says it's straight ahead. Is there like a... Oh, hey, buddy. You're hiding in a good spot.
Nah, and I thought they weren't taking my reports seriously. But here they are, sending me a Sith Lord to handle the problem. I guess the Exchange spying on us really gets High Command's regulation briefs in a twist, huh?
You must have the wrong person.
Then you weren't sent by High Command? I requested advanced operatives who could perform targeted strikes against Exchange spies in public locations. They're using satellite uplinks to get into our databases. Advanced stuff for them. We're guessing the Republic or someone is backing them. We need to get the codes they're using, sabotage their connections, and find out who they're forwarding the intel to.
Let's get it done.
You'll need to get the codes for the uplink towers from their people on site, then use them to sabotage the links. Best case scenario, you also plant this tracer, so our techs can track who the information is being fed to. Thanks for helping us out.
There are lots of dialogue options where you kind of give a stock answer. For example, the one he just said, you must have the wrong person or something. They're a little annoying because they just, I don't know, you remember them and you remember that they've been said before and they're not a custom dialogue. But to be honest, the Sith Inquisitors are so petulant and annoyed. I like hearing them every time. Okie dokie, I think we're close to the next one here. We need to attack an Exchange slicer. Oh, no, you're not a slicer, you're a sentry. No, you're raiders. Oh, you're slicers! So what we know is, I believe there are 3 new Datacrons. Awesome to find on the new planet. That people have already found at least 2 on the public test server. You can actually go to the planet of Ossus. It's unfinished. So if you see any videos or screenshots, know that that's not the final form. It's there's lots to see, but it's very clear that it's not finished yet. And it's very cool how early they put it up too. Hey, a button. Because it's not slated to come out till December, and it's only halfway through October right now. They often don't release it till about 2 weeks before to test stuff. So they've been really committed to trying to get feedback and putting stuff up on the public test server. So that's been neat so far. Slicer? Or was that it? Or I need to obtain Scrap Bridge access code from Exchange Tech Runner. So you guys, hi. So we've got 3 Datacrons to find. There's 2 world bosses. And it's a daily area, so it's assumed it's repeatable. What else do I know off the top of my head? It should remember if you represented the other faction on Iocap, one of the planets you could go to later in the game, level 70 and beyond. Ooh. And there is opportunity to double cross your faction, like actually you're a Sith, but then you decide you want to be a Jedi, but then you want to stay on the Sith side, but like feed the Republic information. I don't know exactly how they're going to handle all that. They even made a joke about, for the agent, you could be a double crosser? Yeah, something like that. I'm sure those of you who have played all the way through would know what that meant a little more. Hey, do I have to kill things in here? I'm getting heroic music. That's probably a yes. Oh, hey guys. What else is cool? Yeah, I think that might be all I know about it, but that was a huge information dump. Of course, they talked a little bit about he was whirlwinded, and I just DPS'd him. Good job. They talked about master mode operation for Gods from the Machines a little bit. Sounds like it's going to be difficult, which is good, and they're going to be making veteran a little easier. So if you happen to be working on veteran with a group, you should find it easier in the next update. Right now it's tuned really hard for a veteran mode, which is the middle difficulty mode. So I'm hoping on this weekend to also make a lore video about Ossus, so we can dig into its history a little better than what I can tell you off the top of my head. One of my guildmates actually said, "Hey, Swtorista, I really like writing about lore. Can I write some lore stuff for you?" And I was like, sure. Do you want to write about Ossus? And sometimes when people offer to write, it's a mixed bag. Writing is one of those things that anyone can technically do, but it's very difficult to write well. I do not write particularly well. I try to, but I'm not a writer at heart in the end. And I was a little unsure, I guess would be the word. Unsure if it would be up to my exacting standards, but oh my gosh, they wrote something so wonderful. It was concise, it was clear, it was, as far as I could tell so far, factually correct, and they didn't just like copy from Wikipedia, which is what I do half the time. Don't tell anyone. Oh, wow! So I'm excited to hopefully read that, and I'm going to try and go on the PTS and show you guys some really cool shots from the new planet. If you want to see them right away, I believe Kid Lee has taken some videos of it. He did basically a tour and ran around and looked at all the areas. If you're watching this in December, well, you should just go to the planet yourself. I know one of the common questions that has come up is, if I'm not currently subscribed, can I go to this planet? I'm not sure. I want to say they said something about it in the live stream. I would guess for sure that you would need to be level 70. So if you're still level 50, 55, 60, or 65, you're probably going to have to subscribe to get to the correct level to reach it. One thing they did say though is that you can jump into it even without having played the other expansions, and it will auto-complete options for you. Kind of like how you can use that special cartel market item that lets you start a level 60 or 65 character and jump right into the last 2 expansions. So if you don't want to worry about all the other expansions and just want to try out whatever this new storyline is, it sounds like that's going to be completely possible. This is really funny. As I mentioned, I haven't gotten to play for a long time, and I'm actually losing my voice. I want to play Javiik forever. But I think after this quest, it might be time to call it a night. And we will continue on our quest to visit all of Tatooine, apparently, and go to the same locations 3 times, and suddenly discover pockets of new quests. Oh my goodness, is there someone healing? Which of you is doing that? Oh Heal. That's not a heal, that was green, but it's not a heal. Oh my gosh, stop that, you. See, as soon as I say I'm ready to go to bed, Exchange Heavy Enforcers just gotta be all up on my business, and you know there's a second room with the exact same layout to my left here that I'm gonna have to fight.
You're going down. Going down, Exchange Executioner scum.
Either way, no, I don't have an interrupt. Ah, that's frustrating. Do I? If I do, I don't know what it is. Okay, let's press this button. Get out of this room. And say goodnight with the heroic music behind us. I'll see you guys next time. I'm really looking forward to checking out Ossus on the public test server, and I'll tell you more later. Have a good night, everyone. Bye!